Let's start.
All right. Hello,
yeah.
and welcome to a new episode of No Rewrites. I'm Adil.
I'm John O, and today we are joined by actor of Tall Boys, actor of The Sidetrack Show, actor, or stand-up comedian, which is technically acting, because, you know, you're playing a heightened version of yourself. We have Tim Blair with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here, dudes.
Thanks for having you. Thanks
Dope.
for coming, dude.
It's always fun, but it's always way more fun with a guest.
Yeah, me and him get a little tired of each other and just frustrated, so it's good to have a third party.
Okay, nice.
You know, it's like a throuple kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just bring someone
We're
else in to
experimenting.
Spice it up a little bit.
Glad I could be here to save the marriage.
Yeah, we're kind of bored of monogamy over here.
So what's new, Tim? How's life?
It's going pretty good. Just summering out as hard as I can, getting to spike ball heavy.
What's spike ball?
Spike ball's so fun.
Is that the trampoline one?
Yeah. It's a net. It's like a modified volleyball that is easy to play. Been hitting that in the parks. You look like an asshole playing it, but it's so much fun and it's so accessible. It's a great game.
It's like you there, and then the slackliners right next to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's literally it's in that same world.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I love spike ball. Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. It's like volleyball meets handball.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just and they add enough that you look way more athletic than you are.
Oh,
playing
absolutely.
It makes you look like, oh my god, this guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. I just started playing. You play tennis?
No.
I just started playing it.
Okay, yeah.
I started last summer a bit, and then this year I'm trying to get more into it. And then as I'm trying to get into it, I just watched Challengers.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Not yet.
Dude.
So now
Speaking
you're
of
really
thruples.
into tennis.
Yeah, speaking of thruples, yeah. So you guys want to play tennis later?
Yeah. I've always been intimidated to get into tennis, because it feels like you got to be in a club, right? Or you can't just.
Fair. I mean,
right,
there's a lot of public courts you can, and I got lucky. So there's one near my place, and it's in this suburban neighborhood where it's not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
So luckily, I can go play for an hour and a half without anyone kicking me off.
Okay, sweet.
So it's like a free club in a way, you know. But no, you're right. If you want to get really good courts and have to schedule and all, and when you watch movies too, have you ever seen Match Point?
No.
That's the Woody Allen movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So after Challengers, I was in this thing of I want to watch more tennis movies.
Yeah.
So I
You went
watched
back
Match
to
Point.
Woody Allen. You went back to Woody
Well, I couldn't
Allen.
find. I mean, Wimbledon's I'm gonna watch next. That's the Kristen Dunst one. But I've always Woody Allen. Man, when he hits, he hits.
Mm-hmm.
He's we're not gonna talk about what else he hits and what else he does.
Yeah, there's
But-
all kinds of different meanings to love.
But when he makes a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Match Point.
That's
Have you seen
why-
Match Point?
I saw Match Point, yeah.
It's such an interesting movie where it's one of those things where you're watching, you're like, okay, it's just an everyday movie, and then it gets to the last 1/3 of the film, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is why I got nominated.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of last moments, and I think smoothly transitioning into us talking about what we've seen recently, I got to finish The Curse last night. I haven't been able to watch it
nice.
fully because Katie fucking hates cringe humor,
Yeah.
and that show is the
ultimate
ultimate cringe.
Oh, absolutely.
Jesus Christ, that ending was amazing.
What the fuck, right?
I was looking it up, and I'm like, what does it even fucking mean? And I was like, did they earn that? But then
Yeah,
there was
that's a good way to put
magical stuff kind of seeded throughout with the little girl. I was so fucking stoked to finish that, and just the way it was done, the performances were so fucking good.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. I've been partway through, but the same thing where it's a lot of cringe.
You can't
It's
do
a
too
hard
much
show
of
to
it.
binge. I couldn't do it back
Yeah,
to back.
yeah.
I need to take a break. So yeah.
It's literally Good Time meets Nathan For You. You know the feeling?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the two
No.
worlds, and it's I'm I don't know, I didn't know I needed this or wanted this, but it's so good.
Well, I found the first half very tough. I would have to take breaks, and obviously they were forced breaks because it's whenever Katie's not around. But then the last bit, I kind of just acclimatized to it. So when shit happened, it became actually funny. I felt permitted to laugh. Whereas before I'm like, oh, this just feels way too real.
It's funny the way you said that. We're when Katie's not around, it's like cheating on your partner with a cringe show.
Yeah.
It's I'm not watching it.
Cracking open the laptop in the dark room and
and you're watching The Curse, not in porn or anything.
Yeah.
It's like Nathan Fielder does that to you.
You guys see anything interesting lately?
Dude, I just finished Sweet Tooth on
is that?
Netflix. Pretty solid. I was a big fan of the comic, and I
Okay.
think they did a good job of kind of adapting the comic for a Netflix audience. The comic's a lot darker than the original or than the Netflix show.
Oh, I remember seeing
And
this.
so it's this weird, interesting space where it's not quite a kid's show, but it has some kiddie aspects to it, and it's not full adult show, but it does get pretty dark.
It's literally for like the grown children.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was nice to see a Netflix show end on its own terms. It had a finale. It was the 3rd season that just came out, and like pretty solid. I got a little weepy eyed. Like all I needed from that show. Like it delivered. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta check it out because like I need a new show now because I finished Baby Reindeer, and then I've just been kind of sitting around rewatching stuff like like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I gotta check out Sweet Tooth. Oh, Dark. I was thinking of starting. Have you heard of Dark?
Dark on Netflix is incredible.
It is
That's one of
really
my
good.
favorites.
I haven't seen it.
The
Okay.
first season especially, I thought was amazing.
I've heard great things,
Yeah.
but like I've never. So I'm might binge that next. But I also watched so Challengers. I was obsessed with when I watched it. It's one of those things, when you watch a film and you really like it, all you want to do is like find people who've seen it.
Yeah,
That's like half
absolutely.
my life is just like watching something and being like, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" And as soon as someone says yes, it's like, okay, let's talk.
Yes.
But so I was obsessed with that. The soundtrack. it's one of those films where you leave the film and you download that soundtrack and then you just like listen to it nonstop for a few days. It's one of those. But I also watched a movie that got really bad reviews, but I think it's kind of unfair to it. Have you guys heard or seen Unfrosted?
Oh no, not yet.
Dude,
No,
wanna
I'm
watch
curious.
It.
I'll be honest.
This is insane.
Yeah, right?
You stand on this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like I'm putting a lot on the line right now.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm not saying it's an amazing film, but it's a classic. Have you ever seen the Dewey Cox?
Yes, yeah.
It's that world. Weird Al.
Yeah.
It's that world. It's silly. It's goofy. It's outrageous. Like cameos. Like they make 20 of the Tiger jokes. They make this joke. They make that joke. It's like stupid for sure. But so was Dewey Cox. And Dewey Cox was, I think, hilarious.
Classic.
Thing
Absolutely.
is, it felt very like watching the movie and then seeing the reviews. I'm like, oh shit, you can't make those movies anymore. Like, and it's it's clean humor. It's all thing, but it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's very like back in the day SNL or Kids in the Hall kind of shit. But like, I love that stuff. But now it's like you have to almost have so many different layers to it to make a comedy. It felt like the fact that I got so many bad reviews. But that being said, watch the movie and then maybe I'm wrong.
All right, gotta give it a shot. I just saw, speaking of movies that have you like obsessed with the soundtrack, I saw the TV Glow.
Oh
weekend.
yeah, I've heard really good things that just
yeah.
played at Calgary Underground
Yeah,
where I was at, but I
like
missed it.
blown away. Like such a like curated, just an amazing vibe, and the soundtrack was incredible. Like did the same thing where I downloaded the original score that Alex G did, but then it also has a soundtrack with like a bunch of great artists, King Woman, this Sloppy Jane, Phoebe Bridgers or whatever, and it's just like so good and like very 90s nostalgia, but like with a twist. I was definitely blown away.
I gotta check it out. I've seen the poster a lot online.
I think I've actually talked about this before on this podcast, but the Bad Boys original Bad Boys movie soundtrack. I fucked with so hard. I got it from one of those like Columbia House stamp kind of things. I was in it a lot, but I did just see with Nick a couple weeks ago.
The new Bad Boys.
Ride or Die.
100%.
Not Ride or Ride or Die. Yeah.
And it was good apparently.
I had fun. It was
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Martin Lawrence was definitely fucking on something the whole time. Like he did not seem right in the head at all, but like they just went with it. And there was really cool action scenes. I felt it felt very Bollywood at the beginning, especially. And then
I feel like Michael Bay was always that guy though.
but he's not Michael Bay now, but yeah. He makes a cameo though.
Michael Bay makes a cameo?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. The third, because I haven't seen the third one, but I heard that's where it didn't feel Michael Bay enough. Where the fourth they went back to, because that's the heart of it. Like Bad Boys, Armageddon, The Rock, all these. No, The Rock's not him. Or is it? The Rock is him.
Yeah.
But all those Michael Bay films, it's like they were.
The Rock is actually a wrestler.
Michael Bay made him. You didn't know this? Michael Bay made him.
Whoa.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Nicolas Cage's The Rock?
Yes,
Dude,
incredible.
so fucking
I need
good.
to rewatch
the
it.
soundtrack,
Yeah.
the everything. It was like the John Woo era.
Absolutely.
But the thing with that movie, or like those movies, is like at the heart, there weren't like story-wise like cinematic masterpieces, but it was Michael Bay's like style and the coolness in each of them, the music and the slow motion. So it's like if you're gonna make Bad Boys 4, you gotta put that in. So it sounds like they did that.
There wasn't enough action, if I'm being honest. I could have used way more because they were doing wicked stuff with like. There's a clip out there of Will Smith like wearing a gimbal and he's like switching it around from POV to him. I was like, I want
more of that shit. Yeah,
I want way more of that.
The whole film with that.
And there was like shit shot on a drone, like action sequences on drone, like very fucking cool.
I haven't seen it, but Nick
Cheesy,
told me
but
this, and other people have like kind of thing. But one of the coolest things about it that makes me want to watch it is that they brought Reggie back.
Yes. Oh, Reggie has a great.
Yeah, I've heard they
good.
like.
Scene is so good.
I'm actually I want to watch the whole movie just for that. That
Absolutely.
they brought him back.
Yeah.
That's so genius, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's the way to do a fourth installment. Like bring the callbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him just being an absolute boss.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, sick.
Okay, well that's our episode today. We talked about movies and shows. I think we need a second podcast just to do this shit.
Yeah, really
because we
though.
end up doing a lot of this.
Really though.
Okay. Fuck. What are we doing?
Why don't we just move on to the problem? I'm feeling pretty warm. We can play a game
fuck
later.
Mind meld. We'll
Yeah.
play a game later.
Our minds feel melded.
Yeah.
The prompt.
Explain. Today's a bit different for the prompt, so you explain.
Today's a bit different for the prompt. So all three of us have put in sort of random movie generator prompts, random ideas, genres, what have you. And then we also each put in an idea for a product that we could make a commercial for, because we all dabble in commercials in varying ways. So it could be pretty fun to write for a product.
At first, when you said that, I was like, that's kind of, I don't know if that's going to work. It's such a different kind of thing. But thinking about, because I think what'll be fun is coming up with a marketing strategy for the product.
Yeah.
And how do you want to show it?
Exactly.
So low key, I'm like, I wish we just did products only because I don't want to pick it. But let's see.
Let's see.
I got something.
What does the Forsaken Bowl say?
It is. Oh, it's mine, and it's a genre. Sports.
Hell yeah.
Sports.
Did I just watch Challengers? I just watched Challengers.
Didn't we do sports like 2 weeks ago?
Oh, we did baseball, yeah. But that was like an improv one. We'll do a better one now.
All right.
You want a product,
Sports
don't you?
movie. Sports.
Sports.
Great.
Okay.
Really.
Favorite sports movie?
Maybe it might be what was Charlie Sheen's baseball?
Oh,
parody?
Major League?
Major League, yeah. Major League
They're like-
2,
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Specifically, just because I think I got it on DVD.
I didn't
from
even
my
know there was a
uncle.
franchise. There's just two?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
shit.
if it goes further than that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've seen it like 50 times. Just one of the only DVDs I had when I first got a DVD player.
And that's that's in the airplane-y kind of world, right? Like it's super slapstick.
Yeah, pretty wacky.
Wesley Snipes is in that one, right?
I think so. I think so. Maybe just in the first. I can't remember.
I just remember hearing about him that he was just really bad at playing baseball, so they had to like shoot around it almost.
Oh, yeah.
And just find ways to make him look good, but he could not play at all or catch or anything. Okay, so we got that. I mean, I always go to this one, but it is a fucking classic. It's Remember the Titans.
Oh yes, yeah.
My goodness, that and Coach Carter were like my two growing up.
Oh,
remember that?
Hardball. Hardball's one of my
Hardball's really
all-time.
good. Yeah,
I totally
yeah,
forgot. Like I remember crying my eyes out watching that as a kid.
Hardball.
Hardball's it was
Keanu Reeves playing teaching
yeah.
inner city.
I might be
youth
wrong, but
to do
maybe Michael B.
softball.
Jordan's in that.
I think so. I think probably
As a kid,
as like a child. Yeah.
So are you big on baseball?
I just saw a game yesterday, but I the only real sport I will watch
Spike ball
on my
Olympics.
own is skateboarding. I watch like skate
Interesting.
league.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
But I like TV, so I'll watch anything that's happening.
It's funny because like I grew up around skaters. Like I was always too pathetic and unathletic to skate, but like it is such a fucking sport now. It's like in the Olympics, is it not?
100%.
It's now in the Olympics. So like
Tony
I
Hawk
still
put it on the
don't.
map as like a world-known
A legitimate
sport, like a legitimate
athletic
Olympic sport.
sport.
Yeah.
And it's growing so fast because there's just this clip that went viral this week on Twitter where Tony Hawk's famous for doing the 900, and then this video of like an 11-year-old doing 3 900s in a row in competition.
Jesus.
Like all the kids are getting so good. And they looked up to these icons, and then like especially you're a kid, you can put your body on the line.
Yeah.
They're just doing these incredible.
You start earlier.
moves.
Tony Hawk
Learn
probably
how
didn't
to
start
fall.
that early, even. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
Well, it's like the sound barrier, right? It's like that thing of like once you beat it, or what's the sound? What was the sound barrier thing where it's like once you ran faster than it, or then anyone can start running faster than it. I'm butchering the analogy, but because it's like baseball. 90 miles an hour used to be a fast pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now 90 is slow, and like people are throwing 98, 99 as if it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like 101 has become a big deal now, but watch, in like 5 years, 101 is going to become like a normal fastball. So it's like all sports are just three-pointers. In basketball, like it was such a big thing. Steph Curry started shooting so many threes.
Yeah.
Now every team, it's like Boston Celtics just won, and they were like draining threes like it's nothing. So sports just keeps like, that's part of it, right?
They grow and change. Yeah, absolutely.
If only space travel could do that, because it feels like we really
I think they
did a
just
couple
realized-
things and then
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
You know,
The thing is, them stopping is the biggest reason that I'm like, was it a conspiracy? 'Cause like, if they did it once, why the fuck did they stop?
I think they started and they saw some shit and they're like, we should just,
Let's just worry about
we
this.
should just chill because we don't know how to deal with this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, thinking of skateboarding as a sport is actually really interesting. And like, yeah, it for kids now, they're born and it's already legitimate. So like they can start young. Because like hockey was always respectable. Baseball is always respectable. But skateboard was for the kids in the 80s and 90s. And now it's fucking, it's there.
Especially like watching pros also, it is changing where it's like, you know, so many like old skaters is about like getting drunk, getting high, shooting some clips, flipping off a security guard. But now these are like, Olympic athletes who have to like take care of their body and have these big like, decompression sessions after a skate test.
Again, that's funny how isn't that almost every sport too? Because there's like the Michael Jordan documentary where he talks about in the 97, 98 season, he's like, when I started, which is like 88 or whatever, he's like, guys would be drinking beer at halftime. And think about it, so for basketball or baseball fastballs or skateboarding tricks, to all get better, they just have to take it seriously. You know what I mean?
They had to switch out the booze for steroids.
Well, there was that era too, 100%. The people call it, it's funny because the steroids like really, for a while, baseball had the craziest like bad PR about that. But when people put up clips on YouTube, it's like, this was some of the best baseball ever.
For sure.
Like Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds era. Like, jeez, bro. They were like hitting home runs like it was nothing. But
I'm just looking at this thumbnail list of sports movies in Tin Cup. Just kidding.
Never heard
Happy Gilmore is a fucking amazing sports movie.
Like absolutely.
You combine comedic fucking prowess and sort of alienating sport like golf.
Well, looking at all like these ones, and again, Challengers on the list too, and so is Iron Claw. These are the newer ones in sports. Have you guys seen Iron Claw?
I haven't seen Iron Claw.
No, not yet. I'm afraid. I know I'm just gonna get sad.
It's so sad.
I'm sad all the time. Anyway.
You just said Happy Gilmore. All these ones, and I mean, I'm just saying what good movies are, but it's like, sport is there, but it's so much more about like their own journey, right?
I think
so. Like Challengers being about love and like also sacrifice and all these things, but then Happy Gilmore being about like I got to make money for my grandma and all these things. So it's like.
Most of those movies, it's like, I gotta win the snowboard race to save my family chalet from fucking.
And what that other B plot, or I guess technically A plot is, like that relationship, the better that is, the better the movie. You know what I mean? Like the stronger that shit is, the more you care about the sport. Because then you really want, because the best feeling in a sports movie, like one of my favorite movies of all time, not even sports, but of all time, is Moneyball.
Yes, great movie.
Come on, man.
Wow.
It's Justin. He's allowed.
Yeah, okay. Justin helps us with this.
He's one of our producers.
Okay.
Is it the Office theme song for anyone who calls or just Justin?
No, anyone. It's some Marimba Office, all right? Get it right.
Oh, okay.
What was I saying? Oh, Moneyball. So fucking good. And again, it's like you really care. And that's why when the streak is happening or whatever is happening, you're just like in it because you care about the stakes. So it's like what the stakes are matters so much. To really care about that scene where the guy hits a home run or the guy hits that shot or the team wins or whatever, is the stakes have to be really well laid out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Okay.
Or so my 2 pages were that to go over that. Or before we go into the blue sky, do we do because we want to make an ad? Do we do a commercial about sports? Yeah, just sports. Like the whole thing is like how to sell sports. Like in a world where sports are like not making enough money, how do you sell sports?
Today's episode of No Rewrites is brought to you by sports. Like being tired and sore and having unrealistic goals, sports might be for you.
Sports, it's in this podcast. Kind of like EA Sports, no?
Yeah.
You get it.
I got it. Doesn't make sense, but I understood.
I don't know. Should we go to the blue sky and then talk about that?
Sure, unless you want to try one.
A quick sport ad. Sports. I got nothing.
Sports. I got nothing.
Blue sky.
Okay.
I actually got one though. Sports. I'm here for the ads. Literally, during Super Bowl, that's what I'm watching.
Sports. I'm here for the roids. Okay. So
Sports.
fucking
It used to be a white man's thing. Not anymore.
now anyone can do it.
Sports. Now anyone can do it. Okay. Blue sky. So
we're gonna figure out what this sports movie is, what it's about, what genre we're gonna place it in.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna lean toward comedy though.
Yeah, I think naturally. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it happens to not be funny, then we meant it to be serious.
I mean,
All right, perfect.
The best ones are funny. Like, remember the Titans? Hilarious.
Yeah.
So
Moneyball's funny. Yeah.
Moneyball is actually really funny. Yeah.
should we do a skateboarding movie where we just like it's just a fucking paragraph, like after paragraph of dialogue about like, okay, ollie into 360,
It's just talking about
into a kickflip, grind down the rail.
Oh,
It's just completely brutally describing a skateboard run.
Yeah.
You know what's also in that realm of like airplane but sports is like, have you seen Hot Rod?
Oh yes. Oh, I
So
love.
good.
Oh,
Hot
Andy
Rod.
Samberg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Such a fucking funny movie. I love. I was watching this one clip randomly yesterday, a couple days ago on YouTube. You know Chris Parnell?
Yes. Yeah.
That scene where he's like, he's like the radio guy. First of all, the dumbest shit where he's like, "We're gonna cover your stunt on the radio, and people are gonna go crazy." And then he's like talking about how much he's like AM and he hates FM and TV.
Yeah.
And he has a tattoo. He has a tattoo of this boy taking a piss, and he has two streams. One's going towards the FM radio and one's towards TV. And I know it doesn't make sense that there's two streams, but I like to think that the night before he had sex. And a little bit of it got plugged, and they're just like watching him explain his tattoo.
That's so ridiculous and funny.
So we could do something like that, like basketball. But I feel like First Strike, we kind of did that with our last sports film.
Yeah, we didn't do a radio drama for it. We just like fully just said a slug line dialogue, and it was completely ridiculous about some guy hitting a home run so hard that the ball breaks through the fabric of time and then lands in some kid's bedroom who turned out to be the inventor of baseball.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
it's
That's
like
a great movie.
Yeah, right? It's like a loop. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that ball being hit is what it's like a
The
paradox.
bootstrap paradox.
That's so
Speaking
sick.
of dark, yeah. So like, what's like an interesting human condition that is inserted in sports? You know what I mean? Like, because that's I think the best place to start. Like, what kind of person needs to be the best at their craft?
Someone who's like naturally competitive.
Naturally competitive.
Think Last Dance, like some guy who can't lose by any means, like
and takes everything personal.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. And what I found that like in that Last Dance thing, what I boiled down that Michael Jordan's like sort of intensity to was like he didn't like fuck around with drugs or anything like that. Like he was just so
His
pure
drug
in that
was
way.
competition.
His
Yeah.
drug, I think, yes, competition for sure. But I think below that, it was presence. He got off on being completely present in these moments. So like he just wanted the high stakes thing because when he's in a fucking game, he's there. He's in
Yeah.
every single second. And in gambling, you're also there every single second, even if you're not playing, because you're rooting for whatever, because you've got fucking millions of dollars on the line.
Yeah.
But he just wants to be fucking anchored
In the moment.
in his body at all times.
You know what's so
And
interesting?
he wants to feel it.
That's such a good way to, because like I was thinking, I always thought that the presence was like his superpower, which they talk about in the doc. They're like his biggest skill. People think it was him jumping high or this and that, but it's like no, his biggest skill was being in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a superpower. But you're right. I don't know if it's a superpower because him doing that whole thing where he would find reasons. Like there's like so many stories where he would just make up shit to get mad about.
Yeah.
Was because he was craving putting importance in the moment.
Yes.
He's like, I just need the moment to be important. Otherwise, I'm not living, it felt like to him, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. You're right. I thought it was like a superpower, but it's almost his crutch was, I need everything to matter a lot.
Yeah.
And therein lies the drama, right? Like your superpower is also your weakness. And like, you know, you could have super strength, but like that one point in your heel is weak. So like you might get taken out super easily. So like, I kind of like that. Like someone's talent is also what is their foil, you know?
Yeah.
Well, a very classic way to do that, which maybe we don't need to do it, but a bit of it is in Challenges, but it was in The Last Dance. It's like, or in any sports thing, it's like the sacrifice of relationships a bit too, right? It's like Whiplash a little bit, where it's like, oh, I can't date you because I'm going to put my craft over you. So it's
Yeah.
like, that's usually the talent becomes like, you know, the reason if someone's in love with them is also the reason they can't date them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something.
And like, what if we put that intensity into something like mini golf? You know?
That's great.
Or like
Or
go-kart racing.
remember dodgeball?
Yeah.
So I always wanted to do this, and
Or spike ball.
We could do mini golf or spike ball. I was gonna say, what if it's the world championships of charades?
Oh, wow.
And it's like you make sure your team. You have to have a recruiting scene where
Yeah.
the right team for the charades tournament.
What
But
kind of
it's like-
skills you need? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This person was a French mime trained
and
many years.
This person's like coda was like child of deaf adults. You know, like the thing is like he grew up in a house where he was always using sign language. So it's like we need him.
Yeah. And it's like 2 words. Fuck yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be the because a film like that, when you really make it like the lore of like this world, is like I would love to see a scene where they invent. He goes like, "He's like, what are you doing?" Well, I'm saying 2 syllables, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Changes the
brilliant.
game.
Yeah. Or like sounds like we have to introduce one of those things. Like, have you seen Semi Pro with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Where they introduce alley-oop in the game and they just like go ballistic.
Yeah.
But it's like they kind of we have to invent something about charades in this movie if we do it.
That's funny.
There's a great documentary on like speed Rubik's Cube players or whatever. Like, I feel like that's also a weird world of like, a sport that people are obsessed with and has its own like subculture and like
really
it I guess a lot of people who are playing are kids. But I think like not because it's a childish thing, but your reflexes slow down past a certain age. So the only people who have like the best times in the world
that makes sense
still happen to be like pretty young.
It's wild, and they do it in like unfathomably quick times.
Well, dude, anything that could be that can
seconds.
get like people watching and somehow make money will become a
For sure.
huge
Well,
thing.
like League of Legends, like the
I
whole
was gonna say video
competitive
games.
Esports. I
sports,
totally forgot. Yeah.
I was gonna say
That
video
could be a
games.
funny one too.
Absolutely.
Esports would be really good because like I feel like I can identify more with a guy who plays video games than a guy who can put a ball in a hole.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck, that spurred something in my head, but then I got distracted by the last thing.
I think we do like the
Rubik's
idea
Cubes.
of ridiculous then, like almost like it's very what's that guy's name? Christopher Guest vibes. A bit of like mockumentary could even go. Not that we have to, but it's like Spinal Tap, or it's like I've never seen Best in Show, but that thing of like taking some, or I mean Dodgeball was the one we were talking about too, where it's like taking a sport that's like something that's not so athletic or so crazy and big, and then making a very serious. Which gets into the airplane world where it's like you're taking the stakes are so high, but it's fucking charades or it's Pictionary or whatever.
Yeah, and there's like it can get violent maybe. But yeah, I like charades. That's funny. Esports is funny. What else would give us some unlikely fodder?
I did enjoy mini golf because also like mini golf, I feel like it's a game I always forget about, and like I haven't seen anyone take it too seriously. And like there's a fun like locations. It's all about the obstacles in the way of mini golf. Where
that's pretty funny. It reminds me of you seen Balls of Fury?
Yes,
the ping pong one with what's it, Dan Fogler? His name? I think I can't remember his name. But
do not remember. Is that the guy?
But Christopher Walken's the villain in it.
Yeah.
Well, it's the guy who also plays.
Dan Fogler.
He plays. Have you seen The Offer? He plays Francis Coppola.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But that movie I remember just being. I thought it was hilarious. It's basically Mortal Kombat meets ping pong.
Yes, yeah. That was a big sleepover in middle school movie. 100%. Just
that and the scary
next
movies.
Week. Yes,
scary 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah.
That could be funny if it was like mini golf, but almost with like a Street Fighter skin.
Yeah.
So there's like
It's
fucking
underground.
like
It's
Blanca and Dalcine. and all
you have to
that.
get invited
Like-
to it almost. Like it's a very underground. It's like it's like Fast and Furious street racing or like whatever. But
or like
it's
Fight
illegal.
Club, but
Fight Club,
Putt
yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
There's only one rule.
Get it in the hole.
Exactly. It's not even.
This is stupid, but I saw a meme the other day that was like, just got back from Fight Club. I missed the intro part, but I had really fun time at Fight Club.
That's great. That's hilarious.
That's good. That's what you missed the intro with.
I do love the idea of mini golf underground, like any location where just like there you got to get it in this sewer grate across town. How what's the par? Yeah,
and the
like
stakes have to
even-
be like really dark and like
Urban mini putt, like it's like kind of like what escape park versus street skating.
Oh,
you know,
true.
there could be
Yeah.
could
Wait,
be
are
like
you saying like they
use the world. As
Yeah,
mini putt.
that
and
would
it's
be
not
the
like,
shit.
but maybe like there is a windmill.
It's a real.
it's a real one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a cemetery, and some of these holes are still being dug or whatever. You know, it's like just like real shit. It's like Tony Hawk, like you said, Skate World, exactly that. Where you just go to an abandoned amusement park, and then you start skating, and that'd be the course. Or it's like same thing with this.
And there's just like, a guy, and then there's also like a Brazilian electrical green man. It could just be weird.
The way I'm picturing it is like if it starts with like, I don't know, our main character's like either hitting like at the driving range or he's doing something that's like, or even something stupider where it's like he's practicing a skill, but he's doing it in a very like anti-gravity chamber way, but in the mini putt world. But he gets a text because they dropped the location the day of the fucking match or whatever, right? So he gets a text, and as he looks at it, he smiles, and they get the title card. But then it's one of those films where it's like, then you cut back 4 days ago,
Right.
And like he was at like
every
drinking
episode of
a beer, and
Battlestar
someone like
Galactica.
approached him and was like, "We need you in this tournament." He's going, oh, and I mean, just to really play the Mortal Kombat of it all or whatever, it's like they're sending him undercover.
Yes. Oh,
You know?
yeah.
And it's like,
gotta
he's like, "What do you
infiltrate.
need me?" He's like, "Our agent compromised or whatever, and now and we just put you in." He's like, "I'm not ready." He's like, "We've seen you," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And they put up like a phone or a video surveillance of him at like different mini putts.
Yeah.
And just losing his shit. He has like he's been banned from mini putt places because he has rage issues because he takes it too seriously. So this is our guy. He's like our ex, like he used to be the shit guy in I don't know, CIA or whatever, or in mini putting. And now they're like, "We need you to go in and infiltrate this ring."
Yeah, like that clandestine, like sort of street racing stuff.
Yeah,
that happens
exactly.
in
Well,
those,
Fast
like,
and
car
Furious is
shows.
what we're doing, basically.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious meets Mortal Kombat,
Absolutely.
meets Street Fighter, meets like all those things.
Same kind of exotic locations. Like they go to the pyramid. There's like a hole somewhere at the top that they gotta get the ball into. Like
That's so fucking funny. No, exactly. Yeah, that'd be really good. I'd like this now. Yeah. It's just finding and then again you can go back and forth, then you cut back to present day and he's at the first hole, and then he has like a back and forth and he hits a shot. Then you cut back 2
And it's
days
like
ago.
Slumdog Millionaire, and he's like, "Oh, I was at the museum and I saw a little pyramid, and they said that this."
The corner is the softest part of it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Some bullshit. That's the good thing about these airplane or like these these outrageous comedies where it's like you can make any logic and it's fun. It's like your logic just has to be funny.
And if we do use the pyramid thing, we could call something around there King Putt.
oh, nice.
That's where that's the money maker. Right there.
I spell a franchise.
That's funny. Yeah, there's something, and yeah, it's figuring out like what those like stakes are for him, because why does he decide yes to do it? It's love interest has to be there. Maybe he goes there and someone he used to date is also part of the competition.
Or maybe like maybe he didn't get banned, but he retired because of some tragedy. Like he I don't know. This is
Windmill incident.
yeah, windmill incident.
What
or
if
like,
it's the windmill? That's what he keeps calling it. But if it's stupid, then it could literally be like him and his ex-wife broke up because he took it too serious. Like it has to be a really dumb reason why.
but he's like, yeah, me and Josephine broke up. Why? Because I played mini putt too much.
Oh, like you like left her at home? No, I played it with her too much, and I was just an asshole. I was just. It's like, oh my god, so
let her win.
You just spent. Never let her win.
I won't let anyone win. I have to step out of the way in order to let the next generation learn.
Like he has like battle scars. Like he has like trauma, and he doesn't want to go back to mini putt.
Yeah.
He's tired of winning.
True, it's not interesting anymore. Like a course, that's why he has to go off the course. Like, yeah.
That's
He's
what
bored.
brings him in, because they give him like the blueprint of it, and he's like, wait a minute, this is an actual waterfall.
Yeah.
This is a real waterfall. We could die. That's why we need the best.
I love that.
Absolutely. Just
It's that energy of you ever watch Key and Peele? The episode or that sketch where he's like Decker, he's like a
Yes,
and he's
yeah.
like, I'm too fast.
Pull you
or
back
whatever.
in.
He's like-
100%.
It's that energy of like he's like a bit gray in his beard a bit, and he's just like he's the shit. Yeah.
I'm just picturing that. Is it Apocalypse Now shot coming out of the water? Putter in the mouth, like.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
That is very good.
Okay, now here's the challenge we always go through now is how do we make it into a short film? Because I can't imagine this should not be more than 10 pages at most. So it's like figuring out how do we get to the climax quick. But
Yeah.
I think that's part
I do
of
like that cutting back to the.
Yeah, it helps us steal time, and then
100%.
when you cut back to present, it's like he's already hit a few shots. or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finding that narrative device which is I think the cutting, and just kind of go right into the big moments. We don't need a lot of fluff.
True.
It's like that at the bar when he gets recruited, then back to the game, then one more thing about his past if needed, and then back, and then it's like finding out like first of all, why are they trying to get him to do it? Is it because these are illegal courses? So is he?
Yeah, or like, is there someone involved in it that needs to get taken out or something? Just before I forget it, I thought of a cool way to intro it. Like he's at a bar, and he's at the bar alone, and he's got his fucking glass of beer, and he's just sitting there drinking. Maybe someone says something to him, and he just fucking ignores them, and then all of a sudden, like a golf ball like goes bloop into his beer, and he just looks over, and then we could cut to a title card, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you do is Mission Impossible. You know how like there's always cool ways that they give him the mission thing. So it's like even if he's just chilling, like a golf ball like comes and he looks at it, and it's like meet me in the washroom. Like it's one of those where it's like used to kind of get him into the washroom, and then there's like in the stall the guys are waiting. He's like, okay, I have a mission for you, and that could work.
You know, I haven't touched a ball in 25 years.
That's stupid.
No ifs, ands, or putts.
That's your poster for sure. That's on the poster for sure. This time it's personal. It's like,
So yeah, like why is he? Yeah, so is he a guy who can never lose, and that's why he left, because he's just like, I don't want to.
I think it's a relationship thing where it's like his relationship ended because of it. That's usually the most like hurtful thing, right? And it's like he's like, I took it too seriously, and they're like the thing that used to be your downfall, we need that now. We need you to be taking it too seriously, because that's what this league is about.
So then I think it should have resulted in some kind of death.
Yeah.
Like he killed his wife because like he was sleepwalking and he like putted too hard or something, you know, like or like she died in the windmill incident, or like the gorilla thing smashed her or whatever.
But a good like misdirected funny thing could be like he keeps calling it the windmill, and we really push towards that she died, but then they find out it's literally like they broke up, or even that like something happened.
Oh yeah,
you know?
just like what if he thinks she's dead? Like what if it was like a windmill incident
and
she got her head cut off,
and she's at the course.
But yeah, she's there. Like
she's part of the illegal thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or what if she did get her head cut off, and she's like a sort of android body like putting champion like.
And she knows exactly how to.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why he needs to go in. The guys don't fully tell him that, but that's why he needs to go
100%.
in, because he's the only one who's ever defeated her, because he chopped her head off by the windmill by accident. So like the last boss at the pyramid thing is her, and he's just like, holy shit, Josephine.
And
you son of a bitch, you didn't tell me.
Something's different about you. It's just like full android.
Yeah.
And I'm just going back to the what's the word? The gimmicks of a film. What's the thing? The
trope.
The tropes. Thank you. The tropes of a film, of those kind of films where it's like they want him to win this so he can get invited to the world thing. So the whole, because we need a mission end, right? So is it just that he wins this and he gets the invite, and the movie ends with him being like, I did what you wanted, and kind of flees into the night?
No, I think like maybe he needs to defeat her again, but like this time it's like he's having trouble because it's his wife, but he ultimately has to defeat her lest the world be overcome by some.
But that's what I mean, though. Usually it's like there's like a traffic ring happening or some drug like thing. So it's like he needs to get invited to the island where they play mini putt or whatever.
Is it? This might be too insane. Is it like if it is trafficking and they're doing mini putt in an exotic location, are like the golf balls like pure cocaine or something?
Yeah.
And like this is how they're trafficking, and he's got to find out their supplier or something like.
That's funny.
That could work too, yeah. But then they would be doing it in regular courses. Because then it'd be like how to hide it, because they don't have to hide it in illegal courses.
But what if the thing is like they're like playing across borders? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Mexico to America, like the holes on the other side, like
that's amazing. Yeah.
And then is there something about it's a mix? Because like I'm thinking like if we want also dumb reasons as well, is it like they're worried about it's affecting tourism or it's affecting landmarks? Because it's basically like they're going into public areas like these like big parks or these big like places, and they're playing fucking golf, and they're like it's like at the end of it it is a dumb reason that's also doing this, you know what I mean?
That might make more sense if it's they're destroying all these like monuments, like Big Ben is filled with holes because of these golf courses. Like, oh, where are they gonna go next? Like
oh yeah, it's like this sort of
and they need to know where they're gonna go next so they can stop him or some shit, and that's why he's
it's almost like a Sinister Six like comic book group of villains that do it, and they just kind of ascend on a place, and then he needs to. And
each villain has its like their golfer that they send out. So there's like 6 golfers every tournament from each.
And maybe like should we build into that thing? Because I am gravitating toward the idea that like the final boss is his belated or deceased his belated. My grandfather was recently belated.
What does belated mean?
It's late. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess it does kind of make sense.
But
it does, but still,
very
like,
polite.
your parents are late. making her the villain, making her the sort of cybernetic villain, like just her head on a thing or in a jar or whatever. But then when the guys come and try to recruit him, he's like, "Why should I do it?" And they're like, "The world depends on you." He's like, "I don't care about the world."
Also, we picked up this image on a satellite.
But it's like, but they ask for you by name, and like kind of set up that mystery, and then we have the flashbacks of him.
Yeah.
Killing her. I don't know. I just got the image of like her standing by the windmill and it's spinning and like hooking her clothes. Because
in Mini Putt too, I don't know, like there's no final. She
falls, lands on the alligator obstacle. It's like cuts her head off.
Like the most fucking hysterical way to go.
It's like a Rube Goldberg fucking Mini Putt.
Yeah, it's like ricochets for like 20 seconds before that, like all for that.
Because what you could have fun with in the actual like. Say the course of the actual like the tournament or whatever is that if you start with 6, because the thing is like there's no in Mini Putt, it's like you play together the whole time. So it's 6 of you, so he sees her in the first one even, but it's like one by one though people start dying, right? Because it's like this course is so fucked up that like by the 3rd hole there's only 3 left or 2 left, and at the end it's just him and her. It's like almost like what's that show? Squid Games or whatever. Where it's like by the end of it, it's like just her and him at the final hole.
Yeah. How many holes is it 9 in mini golf?
I know it's 8.
I think you're work at one that had
18 is like a regular
12.
game.
12.
Oh yeah.
18.
Oh, it's
still
still 18.
regular.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe it was 18. I used to work at a Mini Putt.
Oh no way.
Not a lot of great stories from that aspect of it, but it was.
Did you get good at it?
No, I got really bad. I also it was a driving range too, so like when it was slow, we would just hit balls and shit. But like, I fucking sucked. I just can't be good at athletic things.
I feel like you never commit to the moment of an athletic thing. You're just like always thinking of other stuff probably during it.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like, how can I make a
Just
joke out of this?
ADHDing out of there. Be
Okay.
funny if the ball talked. I like all this. Like the retired guy has a tragic end to his sporting career. It's impossible for him to lose. He's never lost. There's this insidious group of people, machines and animals and monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever we want. Invading.
Ex-wife is one of them.
They're kind of like just ascending on like fucking. Remember that show Reboot?
Yes.
It's like a
that show. You guys like that show?
I
I was
loved
always
it.
one of
Dude,
the
I
people that
loved
would
it
hate
too.
it.
I loved
the
it.
animation.
The last couple of chunks of that series, like when it got real dark and Enzo was old and shit, was very cool.
Absolutely.
So like they just kind of ascend on parts of cities and destroy them, and then this guy has to go fix them. We cross cut between present extreme mini putt tournament and the past that got him there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking when you go past, it's not like past to his love life. It's like it starts with him maybe at the course, and then it's 4 days ago, how they reached out to him. Then you go 4 holes in, and then so that the wife thing is almost like halfway through the film. Because even if she's in the scenes, the audience is like, oh, why is he so? And then you go,
Yeah, we got to figure.
One of the final
slowly,
flashbacks is he killed her.
her getting picked up by the
final flashback
thing,
that happened
and
during like the last hole, and the last hole has a windmill, and she's like, looks familiar or whatever, and then he has to go back, and it's like he killed his wife.
And it's just spinning slow, and he's like, I've got tons of experience with these, and she's like, oh yeah, and pulls a lever, and it's like, like turns into a saw blade. Okay, and then he wins, and then
I don't know the ending, which usually we stumble when we're writing it, we'll come to it, but it's like a regular ending for a film like this is like he accomplishes the goal, right? Like he gets in, he infiltrates, or he gives his code word, and they all attack, SWAT comes in, or whatever the fuck.
Cut to exterior volcano. He achieves the goal.
Yeah.
Finn.
So it's like that, or it's the opposite where they win or the shot happens, whatever, and they're like, all right, Decker, we're gonna pull you out, Decker, and he's like in the wind with his ex-wife.
True, I love that. Like
they patched up.
He always wins, and he like has
and he doesn't help them. He just like fucks off with his wife.
To reconnect with his wife. I think that's kind of interesting.
And then there's that moment where like he could just drop the club.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Decker, what are you doing?
Oh. And man, there's the shot we got to do, like the gearing up montage where he like rummages through his like fucking hoarder house and then finds his old fucking shitty putter. It's like covered in rust, but like it is the best putter ever. It's like maybe the bad guys want his putter, or like maybe she wants revenge, or we'll figure that what
Say it again.
Like maybe the bad guys want his magical putter, or like maybe she wants to get revenge, but I'd love like them coming back together and then just kind of like mysteriously disappearing. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, the last thing is like they think he's still on their side, but then he's like,
Or if he wins and then like there's a moment of victory and then fucking Kong and Godzilla start coming over the horizon with mini putts over their shoulders.
If we had more time, I think that would be hilarious if we do like cameos in this. It's like, Ready Player One?
Yeah,
where it's just
yeah.
like mad cameos where their course is so fucked up because it's near Godzilla's like swamp or whatever. It's just like these really real film like references.
We should have like just Mario in there so he could get electrocuted and be like, "Oh no!" just for a minute.
It's like near Mordor, one of the
yeah.
Mario plays golf.
It's true. He does.
Yeah.
Golf's back on the menu.
You have a Wii avatar also there. I mean, I think we're good to go right in.
We landed on that idea real quick.
Yeah. How do we feel?
I mean, I love it.
I think there's tons
like
of stuff in
yeah.
there, and then we'll leave the rest for surprising ourselves and you when you listen to it.
Love it.
Okay, here we go. And now, Putt to Death. Exterior foothills of Mount Everest. 5 elite mini putt players stand on the ledge overlooking a snowy wasteland. Snow White, a giant grizzly bear of a woman dressed head to toe in fur. King Putt, a spitting image of the Egyptian pharaoh clad in gold. Gator, a stocky shirtless man with scaly green skin. Hotshot, wearing a full-body fire-resistant suit, and Gilligan Condor, our hero, a painfully average man. About 15 yards away is their target, a tiny hole in a crater of snow, surrounded by hundreds of massive bells. Cut 2. Interior, mysterious control room, continuous. A hooded figure, the driver, the mastermind behind it all, sits on a throne, watching the competition from a monitor. Snow White steps up to the tee. Cut 2. Exterior foothills of Mount Everest, continuous. Snow White winds up and takes her shot. It lands perfectly. She looks back and grins at her opponents.
Nothing but hole.
She takes a beat, realizing how that sounded. Then she splits her putter in two and affixes him to her feet. Whoosh, she glides down the mountain. Next, Gator steps up. He hisses softly as he lines up his shot. He takes it, and the ball curves slightly as it approaches the hole, barely grazing one of the bells before slipping in. The bell vibrates lightly, and everyone tenses up, fearing an avalanche. Nothing happens. A sigh of relief.
Crikey.
He curls up into a ball and rolls down the hill. On edge, Condor wipes a bead of sweat from his forehead as King Putt takes to the tee. He clears his throat.
Putt like an Egyptian.
The world around them begins to rumble.
You're gonna kill us all.
King Putt smacks the ball hard and it banks off a large bell and bounces into the hole. The bell rings so loud that everyone has to cover their ears. King Putt cackles.
Sounds like a you problem.
He crosses his arms over his chest like a mummy and toboggans his body down the hill with an evil laugh. Condor steps up to the tee and lines up his shot. The mountains behind him rumble and he sees the walls of snow start to slide away.
Why, Condor? Why are you here?
Hotshot yells from the sidelines.
Take the shot or you'll bury us both.
Condor sighs, pulls back his putter, and hits the ball. Absolute perfection. Hotshot pushes him out of the way, eager to take her shot. The deluge of snow approaches rapidly, and strong winds keep her ball from staying on the tee. Condor is about to ski down the hill, but notices Hotshot having trouble and showing no signs of escaping.
Let's go, Hotshot!
Shut up and let me think.
No one's gonna die here today.
I wouldn't let you win that easy.
Hotshot takes a swing and sinks it. She throws her arms up in victory.
Yeah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Condor rushes toward her in horror as the wall of snow gets closer and closer.
Stop gloating, you're gonna...
Fuck you and fuck...
Suddenly, Hotshot is engulfed in snow. Condor tries to save her, but he's too late. He dives under a bell for shelter, close on Condor's eyes, filled with remorse. Cut 2, title card, 4 days ago. Interior dive bar at night. Close on Condor's hands wrapped around the remnants of a double whiskey on ice. A tattoo on his hand reads Birdie in cursive. Cut wide as Condor slams back his drink. Mere seconds after he puts it down, a golf ball bounces into his empty glass. He grimaces, takes it out, and reads what's on it. Meet me in the bathroom. Cut 2, interior bathroom. Condor enters the empty washroom. He peers under the stalls and sees a pair of army boots sitting at the toilet.
Hello?
The voice of Duffer, 60s, rugged military type, is heard.
Oh shit, hold on.
Condor hears the sounds of toilet paper being pulled off the roll. Some light wiping, then flush. Soon, Duffer emerges from the stall.
Thought I had a bit more time. Gilligan Condor. My name is Sergeant Duffer.
I go by Condor now. The odds have been against me ever since.
He trails off.
Look, I know about your past. Real tragic stuff. But maybe we start with some how you doing or a bit of small talk.
I don't want to yuck your yum, but it feels a bit weird to ask a stranger how he's doing in a men's bathroom.
It's
Can we hurry this up and get to whatever fresh load of shit you're about to drop on me, Sergeant?
All right. Well, for what it's worth, I've not been great. And that's exactly why I'm here. We need you.
Not interested.
You don't even know what I'm about to propose.
Yeah, and I'm not interested.
Condor takes a step to leave, but the sergeant stops him.
Word on the street has it that you're one hell of a mini putter.
Condor snaps and grabs the sergeant by the collar.
Who told you that?
It doesn't matter. And unless you want to spend the rest of your days in a Kazakh work camp, you better let go of me.
Condor relents.
I don't do that anymore.
What if the world depends on it?
Listen, the last time I touched a club, I lost everything I cared about, all right? And was the world there for me? No, the world can go fuck itself. Hard stop.
I know. I hear you. I see you. And I get it. I know all about your past, and it's tragic, but I promise, this is just a putting tournament with no chance of death.
Condor is not convinced. Duffer backtracks.
Unless you don't sink the ball, then the penalty is death.
What? Excuse me?
Begin montage.
The world you left is no longer recognizable. The golf is still miniature, but the stakes are now massive.
Cut to shots of famous architecture and world wonders. Big Ben, the Louvre, the Statue of Liberty, Leaning Tower of Pisa, etc., all pockmarked with golf ball holes.
It's been commandeered by a mysterious entity known only as the Driver, who has secretly assembled the world's most elite mini-golfers in a tournament to the death.
Isn't it ironic that they go by the Driver and they're hosting a mini-putt tournament?
Don't read into it. They've started to invade World Heritage sites and caused irreparable damage.
Cut to shots of the Driver, the hooded figure from the opening scene, presiding over headshots of the mini-golfers.
Sounds like they should go to jail.
That's exactly it. These freaks are all wanted criminals who need to face justice. Have you ever seen what they did to Big Ben? Do you remember the January 6th insurrection? Or that billionaire submarine that was actually hit by a golf ball? We need you, Condor.
Cut to Condor tearing up the floorboards of his house. We reveal what's inside, a rusty old putter. Cut to Condor arriving at the foothills of Mount Everest. His opponents eye him up with ill intent. Quick cuts from the opening scene.
If these animals die, the families they hurt will never find peace. We want you to participate in this tournament and keep everyone alive at all costs.
We finish the montage with Condor handcuffing Hotshot to one of the snowy bells at Mount Everest, still alive. Cut back to the men's room, off Condor's confused look.
Okay, why me?
Duffer reveals a small envelope from his jacket and hands it to Condor.
You've been invited.
Cut to a close-up as Condor opens the envelope. A message reads, "Attention Gilligan Condor, you are invited. Signed, the Driver." Cut 2, exterior jungle, later. Close-up on a placid swamp. Ripples begin to form as Condor's head pokes out, a putter clasped tightly between his teeth. Cut to a frog devouring a fly. Cut back to Condor, rising out of the water more. He takes his club from his teeth. Cut to a panther eating a zebra. Cut back to Condor, almost fully out of the water. He lines up a putt. Cut to an alligator with its mouth open, next to a flagstick. A sudden image flashes into Condor's eyes, a distant memory of someone's head being chopped off by an alligator. Back to Condor. He's now standing fully on the surface of the water, dead focused. He puts his ball on a lily pad, then takes a shot. He sinks it into alligator's mouth. Cut to exterior Niagara Falls. A wide shot of the falls. Golf balls float in the foam below. The camera pushes behind the waterfall into a cave. A golf ball rips through the water and bounces into a hole. On the other side of the falls, Gator spikes his fist in the air and a green light signals he has made the shot. Exterior Giza Pyramids. An aerial shot of the pyramids. King Putt takes a shot and it flies toward the peak of the Great Pyramid. Transition to a cross-section of the structure. We see the ball enter the top and plinko its way down through and into the mummy's tomb. Cut to interior prison. Duffer walks past a row of cells, each one containing the defeated players. Condor has bested them all. Cut to exterior volcano. Condor stands at the top of the volcano. He touches his earpiece.
Okay, Duffer. Looks like that's it. Can I go home now?
You're not out of the sound trap yet. You've still got one more to bring home. The Driver.
As the name is spoken, a Chinook helicopter crests the volcano. Condor watches as it lands, and the mysterious hooded figure walks out. Condor looks at his rusty club.
One last time, old girl.
The Driver slowly walks toward Condor for effect, speaks with a robotic and distorted voice.
Gilligan Condor.
It's just Condor now.
Seems fitting.
Look, I'm usually about 4 whiskeys deep by now, okay? So if we could hurry this along.
The Driver lowers their hood, and Condor's jaw drops to the lava. It's Birdie.
Hey, Gil.
Cut 2, exterior mini putt course, flashback. A younger, happier Condor stands by and watches his wife, Birdie, take a swing. The ball travels down the path and makes it perfectly past the windmill. She jumps and punches the air.
You're toast, Gil.
Condor smiles and tees up his shot as Birdie stands by the windmill, taunting him.
Swing, bada, bada, swing.
Hey, I'm trying to focus here, all right?
Come on, just take the shot.
Will you stop talking? I'm not taking the shot until you...
Ah!
He trails off as his eyes widen. The windmill hooks onto the back of Birdie's shirt and lifts her off the ground.
Oh my God, Gil, help!
Condor watches in horror as the windmill completes a full rotation and sends Birdie toward the artificial swamp next to it. A robotic alligator snaps its jaw open and closed.
Birdie!
He begins to rush over, but he's too late. The robotic alligator clamps its jaws and decapitates Birdie.
No!
Cut 2. Exterior volcano, present day. Condor drops to his knees. Birdie removes her cloak to reveal a completely cybernetic body.
Birdie, what have they done to you?
You must have me confused. Take your shot. Your life depends on it.
Birdie, it's me, Gilligan.
Duffer comes over the earpiece.
What are you doing, Condor? Take the damn shot.
Fine, I'll go first.
She tees up her shot and takes it. It bounces over a pit of spewing lava and lands on the other side, right into the hole.
You're up, Gil.
Condor's eyes light up.
Condor, this is it. You need to hit the shot, or she's gonna tear you apart.
Condor steps up to the ball, but he doesn't tee up. He lifts his putter and throws it into the lava.
What the hell are you doing?
He takes the earpiece out and crushes it in his hands.
Birdie, I miss you so much. I didn't mean for things to go sideways. I'm nothing without you. Please, you have to stop this.
A tear begins to form in Birdie's eyes.
I've missed you too.
Ever since you've been gone, there's been only one hole I can't fill.
Birdie looks a little disgusted.
Excuse me?
No, I mean, I keep putting things in, but it doesn't work.
What are you talking about?
My heart, the hole is in my heart.
Well, there's only one thing to do about that.
Off Condor's look. Cut 2. Exterior family mini putt range. Years later. A group of children run up to a kiosk.
5 for mini putt, please.
We see a pair of gloved hands place a few clubs on the counter along with some colorful balls. Cut wide to reveal it's Birdie, wearing a button-up shirt exposing a little bit of her android body. One of the kids notices and she buttons it up. Condor steps up to her with a fresh glass of whiskey. He puts his arm around Birdie.
You kids have fun now, okay?
One of the kids looks at his whiskey.
Isn't it a bit early to drink?
Birdie reveals her own glass of whiskey.
Shut the fuck up and have fun, okay?
The kids run off. Condor and Birdie kiss.
Finn!
In conclusion. Yay.
Yay!
Yay,
Okay.
we did it.
Just one more game. I had a game. Give me a sec. Where the fuck did I put it?
God,
Sorry. Oh, it's wavelengths. So, you ever played wavelength?
I think so.
Well, basically, so I'll think of a word or something, and I'll make it sports specific for this episode.
Yes.
So you guys have to start guessing, and basically 100 means you've nailed it. 1 is you're so far from it.
Perfect.
Cool? I have a sports term thought of, and you guys definitely know this term. Let's see who gets it.
Offside.
Mulligan. Oh, shit, yeah, you got it.
5.
Mulligan?
4.
Dunk.
That's the word. Holy shit.
100. Let's go.
Oh, man, that's the quickest one ever. It usually takes like minutes. All right.
Wavelengths is no match for Tim
Yeah,
Blair.
apparently not, man. But damn, that was our radio drama. How'd you feel, man? First time.
That was fantastic. Great. I was enthralled. Got a little misty-eyed at the end. It was perfect. What a
They
ride.
ended up together, guys.
Yes.
They ended up together.
Yeah, you know
That's
what?
Exactly.
I think it might be fun to date an android who turned evil after being decapitated by a mechanical alligator at a mini putt course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Boy, if I had a penny every time,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's really my type.
Yes.
The
On my Hinge profile. It's just
horrific death at a
droids
child
only face.
activity. Yeah.
Also, if there was, I know we're really early in guests, like our 4th guest, but so far, if there was an award for best voiceover on our thing, for sure.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
Alzheimer's in there for sure.
That was some good lines, man. That's some good reading,
I
man.
appreciate
It was
it.
really fun. It made me laugh, dude. I was like holding it in. I was really happy with that. Like it was Balls of Fury meets like Mortal Kombat meets like Happy Gilmore a little bit, sure.
Meets Hot Shots Part 2.
Exactly. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, okay. So let's not go through the whole thing, but
No.
just to line it up, like who do you think would play Gilligan Condor?
It's a really average guy, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good question. Maybe Adam Scott.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
I
that'd
love
be
Adam
funny.
Scott, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Michael Cera.
Oh, nice.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Or imagine like Joe Latrulio playing like a really serious
Oh,
role.
Joe.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That'd
that
be great.
rules.
It's like, you know
That'd
what?
be really good. But I could also see him being like one of the villains as a piece of shit too. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
fuck you. And just,
Yeah.
he's so good. Joe Latrulio. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Latrulio.
He's Charles Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
Superbad,
Yeah.
or I Love You Man.
Or Wanderlust, or
Yeah,
The
yeah,
State,
yeah.
or Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, he's so good.
Legend.
Incredible.
he's fucking
Incredible. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, it's good. You
sick.
guys play golf?
Only miniature. I've never played full size golf.
I've never
This
played-
was in my sweet spot.
I never played grown up golf either.
It's really fun.
just
like,
hit balls and putted balls.
and you're drinking and you're smoking and you're like, like hitting balls, and then you're in a cart and you're driving. It's like a great time. Like
Nice.
it does suck if you're like in the beginning, like it's a bit of beginner's luck, so you're having fun. But then once you start like taking it seriously and you start caring about how to hit a ball, it gets a little annoying because then you really care and you get very like, dude, it's because there's no opponent in golf but yourself.
Yeah.
So you really can get like
the
angry.
ultimate. It's like when you pick the shadow character in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta
Yeah.
fight yourself.
So you can get pretty like angry, but it's like if you go for a fun 3-4 hours to drink and chill in the sun and hit a couple balls around and not take it seriously, it's a good time.
Yeah, I think I'd like to just like, not hit the balls and just like smoke weed and ride along
Just be
in
in
the
the-
car.
yeah, be a
Kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of like skiing. I just want to hang it in the chalet. And
That rules.
Eat
Yeah.
s'mores. Yeah. I don't want to get
I
hurt.
know exactly what you mean. Just go for like I'm going for a ski trip, but then really going for the hot tub
Yeah.
and the chalet. Yeah.
And listen, if people can die playing mini putt, like I don't want to risk dying during full grown
a- Oh,
golf.
no way.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
No.
What it used to be.
Yeah.
People die now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sweet. Tim, you got anything you want to plug? We have no idea when this is coming out, but
Just follow Sidetracked on socials. I got a YouTube channel, make sketches with my roommate fairly regularly. We aim for once a week, but it's been a couple of weeks. But
It's hard.
What's
It's
will be
hard.
coming out.
What's the name?
Sidetracked at Sidetrack Show
Sidetrack
on
Show.
all the socials.
very funny.
Yeah.
Good group of
Dope,
dudes.
dope,
All right. Sick. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for
Man.
having me. It's been an honor.
That was a good one.
Good job.
Yeah.
No Rewrites is produced by Adil Shamsi and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Harastovic. Some additional voices performed by Katie Trudeau. And the stuff in between segments was recorded by Kevin Brown. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritesPodcast@gmail.com or DM us at No Rewrites Podcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends, please. Thank you.